Check that out, guys. Okay, 900 watts. Coming out of 1030 watt amount of solar. This charge controller is doing a great job. 120 volts. It really lets the voltage come down though when the sun goes behind the clouds quite a bit. So it's definitely not good in these high voltages for when for when there's low light conditions. But when the sun comes out, holy smokes, I'm hitting rated, pretty much rated watts. And the panels are facing straight up in the air. They're not even facing the sun. See, what do we got going here? Got some cloud. How long is that going to last? It's going to last a little bit. Let's see. Maybe I'll pause it. Fans just kicked in. Warm air coming out, so it does allow the MOSFETs to get a little bit warm. That works. Okay, that's good. Looks like it draws all the way from the bottom up through the unit. Doesn't stay on very long. Come on, cloud, go away. Alright, pause you guys again. Alright, so we're hitting full charge, and I'm going to turn this electric heater on, and we should see this thing skyrocket.
Your friend is gone.
Yeah, he just left. So this is with the electric heater on. This is starting to climb. This is in the work trailer with 1,000 watts, 1,030 watts of solar on the roof. Should really start climbing more, but it must be cloudy out. Let's look at the battery voltage. Yeah, it should be putting out full power. Okay, let's look outside quickly. Oh yeah, it's hazy. That's why we're not hitting full power, but still should be making power. 400 watts. 49.6 volts. I'd really like to see 1,000 watts peak. This MPPT does seem to do quite a good job. Pretty happy with it. Let's even go to, there we go, we got 100 volts solar coming in and climbing. Sun came out for a bit, behind the cloud again. Ugh. Will it go back up is the question. Turn the heater back off for a second. I don't think we need it. The one thing though, it lets the panel voltage go down. Oh no, it's doing pretty good right now. 112 volts. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this actually. I think I'm going to leave the panel array in forward series. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this right now. 1.2 amps on the PV side and 2.6 amps on the battery side. Almost fully charged again. Anyways, that's the work trailer system. Everything works great. Love it. Thanks for watching, guys. Run into a little hiccup in my design of this thing, and I was gonna use these to connect them. So I was gonna, yeah, I'm wearing my pajamas right now. I was gonna split them in the middle, so cut it in the middle, solder them each side, and then I can connect them together with these connectors. That means I can move them individually, keep them all separate, but the problem is I don't have enough of these. And I only wanted to do it this way instead of using the original BMS because it takes forever to figure out which one does what. It's got a bunch of extra pins, and it's like you use the first one, you skip two, you use the second one, and it's a pain in the butt, and there's pins on both sides. And yeah, but the problem is I don't have enough of these. And these take forever to come in the mail, so I'm not going to go this route. It's too bad. It would have been nice because, well, it's going to be nice doing it this way too. It's just way more work. Way more work. So, throw this back into the... This is my solar box when I go to do installs at someone's house or help them out. I just got MC4 connectors, which I got to order some more. I'm almost out. I got Anderson connectors. I got, oh, what are these called again? I don't even think it says on here. I can't remember what these are called. You can tell me in the comments. I can't remember. I got fuses. I got all kinds of stuff. I got these little things that I took out of my 2 trailers. This camera just cannot focus. Anyways, we're going to use the original BMS wires, and I'm going to have to figure them out. Here we go. great. Well, I've been working at this for hours. Finally got the stupid BMS wires figured out on this thing. They're ridiculous. It's so weird. So one battery, you would think, hey, one battery. They put one battery on this connector, one battery on this connector, one battery on that connector, because this BMS wire does 3 batteries. Nope. No, that would be too easy. Oh yeah, and this complicated process took 2 beers to finish and to keep me sane while I did it. Okay, so what do we got? So this one does 2 batteries. Does a battery on this side, which I figured out, and does a battery on the other side of the pin. This one does 1 battery. I can't remember. Dang it! I've already forgotten half of it. I think this one does 2 batteries. This one does 2 batteries. This one does 1 battery. I believe that's how it is. So one does this one, half of this one, half of this one, and then the other one does the other half of this one, the other half of this one, and then the one does the full battery. I believe that's how it went. So what I did was I just made splitters. So I just made it so I could connect all the BMS wires. So essentially all the BMS wires from this pack, and this pack are all in parallel now. I use this hobby charger to parallel them. You can see that the wires going in here. This side is all parallel. This side is all parallel. I cut the bridge connection in the middle, so these are not parallel together, they are separate. Then I built this cringe-worthy little splitter for the remainder. And look at that, guys, we got a working BMS. Problem is I can't customize anything because I don't have the app. So I just messaged Off Grid Wannabe on YouTube. He's got a channel, you should check him out. He's got the same BMS, and I asked him if he could send it to me. I believe that's what he's doing right now. Let's see here. So this thing thinks I'm in 24S. That's what this thing can do max, but I'm actually hooked up for 16S. So let's go through here. Sheesh, hard to see the screen. Sorry about that. There we are. See? Balance is off, everything's off pretty much. Battery cells is saying 24, very wrong. It thinks we're fully charged at 3.549 volts because it thinks I'm using LiFePO 4 batteries, which I'm actually using lithium ion. So these are actually 4.2 volt cells, max charge. There's all your cells. They're almost perfect. Like, oh crap, I don't think I've ever had a pack. Forget these ones, 17 and 18 only goes up to 16. So pretty much, well, just these cells, and they're all the same. That is really good. And when I tested them manually, they're all the same as well. Let's actually go one more. Oh, come on. Let's see here. So now that I've finally figured out this BMS, let's do a little walkthrough on how this works, because this took a bit of figuring out, even with their directions online. So the wire coming out of here, the side of the actual BMS, I thought that was a positive and negative and almost hooked up wrong until I read online it is actually where they provide the switch. Oops, right here, focus camera. They provide the switch. I have not even soldered it yet. I literally just jammed it in the silicone there just so I could try it, and everything turned on. That was sweet. Also, these switches here can turn the screen on and off. Coming out of here, these are the power wires coming out of the main screen. You can go anywhere from 25 to 150 volts here. That's insane. So that's your power input. So that's what I have coming off the battery here. And off the BMS side, so my batteries are 16S, so this is the very first negative. This is the same negative as this. So the negative that you're pulling all your current from is the same starting point of your BMS negative right here. So this is the first negative of all your cells. And then this is the first positive slash second negative. This is the second positive slash third negative. So on all the way through to 16S. So 16, let's see, 16 cells needs 17 wires technically. So there's your 17 BMS wires. Except for this BMS is a little funny because it can go all the way up to 24S. You got all these missing pins, so they want the last pin occupied. So this last pin is paralleled with your last pin, whatever your system is running. So mine is 16S, so this is, like I said, 16 cells get 17 wires. That's what this is right here, 17 wires. So my last wire gets paralleled with the last wire on this board. You can see right there. You parallel these, and these both get hooked to the last positive of your cell group. And that's how this BMS works. Works pretty good. Here it looks like you have, this is where your temperature sensors plug into. I'm not going to be using them myself, but you can use them there to give you temperature. I might eventually use them. Maybe I'll stick it to the top of this because I want to know the temperature of this more than the batteries, really. Yeah, looking forward to get the software so I can actually use this thing. One problem I've already found, so I have to either move all to this style BMS or stay with all this style BMS, because this style BMS has the battery negative where it comes in, the charge negative where the charge comes in, and where you pull power from the BMS. So there's 3 wires to this BMS, and this BMS has 2 wires. There is battery negative in, and this is charge slash pull out. It does not have an actual pull going into this, in or out of this. It's just charge. So the charge does both. You can pull and charge. So yeah, it's interesting. And that's problematic because my charge controllers are hooked up to here. All my charge controllers. And my inverter is hooked up to here. So the problem with mixing this into the equation now is, where do I hook this C power up to? I can hook this up to the power side, but what that's going to do is make these work harder to compensate for these batteries. It's like adding these batteries to the charge load of these. So if I hook this up to the pull side bus bar, what's that's going to do is when these are getting charged, all the charge current is flowing through these BMSs, raising the battery voltage, so then these will be pushing power out here and into these batteries. And that sucks because I don't want to do that. I want their charge to be going through here. So my system is not compatible with this BMS, unfortunately, unless I change them all over, which I am kind of considering, even though it is a ton of work. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it, to be honest. These things work so well. I don't want to change them, to be honest. So I might try this out a little bit, see how it works, and we'll see. If I hook, another way I could do it, I could hook this up to the charge side. If I hook it up to the charge side, what's going to happen is when we're charging the batteries, this thing will be, the charge will be going through here like normal, and then when we're discharging the batteries, this will be pushing current through the charge side of these BMSs. So for this to be able to help the system at all, it's going to flow through the charge side and then into the batteries. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to hook it up for a little bit and just play with it. Don't think I'm going to leave it hooked up permanently. If I really like it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up buying, let's see, I'd have to buy, so this is 16 kilowatts. I got about 20 kilowatts of these. Say one for all these, one for all these, one for all the Ford Focus batteries, and then I could just leave the Nissan Leaf batteries on that one. I don't know, we'll see. I'd have to buy at least 2 more of these, switch the system completely over, buy a ton of ribbon cable because these obviously are way too short. I do not want to resplice into any of these. I'm going to reuse the ribbon cable with just connectors. There's no way I'm going to redo the whole system. I actually just purchased some ribbon cable to clean this up because this is what I had on hand. So this is the only way I was able to do this was like this. That's why it looks like garbage. And this is exactly how I hooked it up. Show you here. So I have 16S, so I stopped right there. But imagine the 16S is actually this 20. See how your last positive goes in parallel with the last wire right there. So that's how these things work if you're not using the full 24S. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll give you an update soon.